Hello and welcome to Privars Fiskeflur. Today we're going to tie this fly. This fly is a little Eggsack Minnow made of hot melt glue and some sea epoxy and a fluorescent tail from an octopus bait. It's very nice and fast tie, so that's not so much to talk about this, but it's very effective fly, catches a lot of fish, it's a fast tie and durable fly. So see how I tie this fly. Okay, this is a fly we're gonna tie today. This is how we're gonna look approximately. So I'm gonna start with tying this fly and show you how. Okay, take this fly out of the vise, put on a similar hook, put it into the vise, correct, see if it fits correctly, and I cut up a little piece of this fluorescent orange melt glue bar. I cut it to like this shape, and what I'm gonna do is gonna heat up this hook and just melt it to place. And because this hot melt glue piece is gonna go underneath, I just melt it like this. Oh, I'm gonna change the angle of the camera a little bit. Well, I changed the camera angle, but that doesn't fix the problem, so I just have to put it onto this from underneath. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. Just heat this hook up, use the blue part of the flame that contains less soot and just place it there. I'm drinking too much coffee today, so a bit shaky on my hands. No alcohol, but just too much coffee. You see now, it sits there, but I'm gonna have rounded shape on this. I'm gonna do that with some heat. I have to make this go a little out of angle, out of the view. Sorry about that. See now, the egg sac is staying there. I cut a very thin piece of this hot melt glue so it don't exceed out of the diameter of the hook. That makes the part of putting the eyes on much easier. Okay, just wait until this melts and cures. I'll just try to put my hands like this, just see if it sticks to my fingers. If it's not, it's okay. Then I'm gonna continue. Now I'm gonna put on my thread. I use mono for this. It's 0.1 mono. I got a lot of this thread, and I'm gonna use this thread because it becomes invisible when you put some glue on it. And of course this tail I'm gonna put on now is a part of this kind of bait. It's an octopus bait. This is fluorescent as well. It's fluorescent green when you hit some UV lights on it. Just cut a piece off, and I just tie it on the flat side on top like this. Carefully just tie it on top. Try not to break your thread. I avoided that like this. And now it's time for the eyes. Okay, because this fly is pretty small, the hook is about size 2, but I like a big gap hook because that hooks a lot of fish. Okay, I take my ice, it's about 3mm flat ice. Why I use flat ice I'm gonna show you right now. But first I'm gonna take my botkin needle, just peel off one ice of the time and put it on to the side of the egg sac like this, and take the other one, take it out. It's a bit adhesive on this, so it will stick to your fly a little bit. That helps me a lot, like this. And if you want, you can take your fly tying thread mono and just take some more wrappings over the eye just to make him stay there. Because I've managed to do this exact, just the same diameter as the hook, so it was not necessary, but I'm gonna show you this thread is gonna be invisible. And because I can do that, I use some whip finish by hand at the end there. Put your bodkin needle into the loop, just make it stay just like that. Okay, snip it off. Now the magic comes. I'm gonna put this other devices aside, and I take a little piece of paper, a little block with a lot of, so I can peel off one paper at a time. I do just that and put the rest of the block aside, put it onto my board, fly tying desk, and I'm not gonna show this, but it's self-explaining. I take my two C epoxy, I mix this one, a little dabble this with this one, with my bodkin needle, and just apply it to the fly. And when this is done, I'm gonna put the whole fly onto the drying wheel. Okay, now I'm gonna start with this process. A little dab of the resin first, and the same amount of the resin with the hardener beside it. I'm very careful not to make these two bottle nozzles attach, because then it starts to cure into the bottles, and I don't want that. Just mix it carefully from side to side. I'm not going to show this on the video because I'm going to explain it very well, and be sure to mix it carefully and don't trap too many air bubbles. Okay, and now I'm gonna apply this onto my fly and make it go around the egg sac, and you can use your rotation wise if you have that. Otherwise it will be much more difficult to do this because you have to move this around. Okay, this is I try to make it look like the other fly I've been tying, but because this is handmade flies, no one of them, it will not be just the same like a fabric or something, if you have a fabric flies. But see, now I cover all of this with some UV, not sorry, with some epoxy resin, and I'm gonna put this onto the drying wheel, and it will cure and look like the first fly I've been showing you. You see now, can you see the mono thread? It's nearly invisible. This is gonna be very strong, and I'm gonna put this onto the drying wheel now and put out put ones that's been cured into the vise. I'm gonna tell you a little more about this in the description. Okay, that's all I had for the tying part. So I want to show this onto the description. Okay, that's all I had, folks, for this fly tying session. So take care now, and Happy New Year, and tight lines in the new year. Make it go a lot of fish into this year. Okay, bye bye.